Wedging clay is an important first step whenever you begin to make a vessel. Wedging creates a consistent and homogeneous material and drives out air pockets from the clay that can cause work to explode during the firing process. Though it looks simple, wedging is a skill that takes time to learn, so be patient with yourself. When the clay arrives at an ideal consistency, I'll prep the larger piece of clay to create smaller pieces for each individual vessel I want to make. This is an efficient way to prep enough material to create multiple projects at the same time. Because we want to maintain symmetry, we'll start with a ball of clay. I'll press my thumb down through the center to start the floor of the pot. I'll then begin to pinch the clay between my fingers and my thumb while rotating the vessel as a way to maintain symmetry and a consistent clay wall. Try not to expand the vessel too quickly, for this will create more of a plate rather than a vessel shape. Focus on creating interior volume so that we can use it as a functional vessel. Each pot that you make is an experiment. So try not to overthink the vessel shape that you're making. Instead, focus on the consistency of the clay walls, the symmetry of the pot, and how your process affects the shape of the vessel. The purpose of this project is to repeat the production process over and over again. This will help us learn from each experience, and we can carry that knowledge into the next vessel we make. One of the things I want you to focus on is to create vessel shapes with consistent walls. This is a good example of how to keep the clay wall consistent and symmetrical. This is an example of clay walls that are inconsistent. Inconsistency in your clay walls is a sign of poor craftsmanship, but it can also lead to other problems in the drying and firing process, like warping and cracking. Closed forms begin just like open forms do with a ball of clay. With just one difference, make sure that you keep a lot of clay at the rim. Once you've established the volume of the pot, we want to push the clay into a spiral to help close off the shoulder of the form. Once you start the process of closing off the form, you want to always make sure you go back and keep consistency throughout your clay walls by compressing the clay between your fingers. Repeat this process as necessary in order to obtain the particular diameter for the neck of your pot. Notice how I fold the clay over itself in order to create a more narrow neck. This method is necessary because you just can't push clay into a smaller space. Again, always go back and make sure that your clay wall is consistent by compressing it between your fingers, and keep your eye on the lookout for cracks. Take the time to go back and inspect your form. And make any changes necessary to improve the form's consistency and symmetry. I wanted to offer one more example because this process is challenging to learn and you are going to struggle. My suggestion is don't be too judgmental on what it is that you're making. Give yourself the opportunity to learn by repeating the process over and over again. Again, I'm folding the clay over itself so that I can create a more narrow diameter for the neck of the pot. Be careful when working with this part of the process. Be careful during this part of the process because it's easy to overwork the clay, which can result in drying it out and forming cracks. If cracks do occur, you have the choice of leaving it, or I suggest adding clay to try and cover it up, or you can cut them out. Either way, begin to understand how your choices will affect the overall identity of the pot. These choices and experiences will begin to reveal your individual creative expression. It's important to understand that there's no right or wrong way to do things. There's just good and bad work. I'm going to make a drinking vessel with a handle by using this pinch pot. I want to make sure that I have a level rim so that it's easier to use. I first use a needle tool to make a guideline, and then a fettling knife to cut through the walls of the clay. I'm stretching out a piece of clay that I can eventually use for the rim. The next step is to cut a flat edge so that it sits on top of the vessel shape. texture for decoration. I apply slip so that I can secure the rim to the top of the vessel. I want to make sure that I clean any excess slip from the interior of the vessel. This will help with the better function of the cup. I make the handle in a similar way as I made the rim, including with the same design. In terms of design, these repeatable design elements will help unify the overall design characteristics of the vessel. As I cut the final shape out of the coil, I want to make sure I smooth out the cut edges so that when they fire into a ceramic, they won't cut your fingers. I'm stretching out another coil so that I can use it to create the foot of the pot so that the pot will stand up straight and sit level on whatever surface you place it on. This is an important design characteristic of the pot in that it will improve functionality. I apply slip to the foot ring so that I can attach the vessel securely. I make sure to wipe up any excess slip from the joint, and I also double check for levelness. flaring out the foot ring so that I can widen the base and create more stability for the cup. This will help prevent it from tipping over when you pick it up and put it down. I apply slip to the top and bottom of the handle, and I compress the handle to the side of the cup, making sure that it's straight and vertical. Now I want to just inspect and make final adjustments to the overall cup. I'm using a knife to cut a clean edge into the top and bottom of the handle where it meets the cup. I'll make some final adjustments on the handle before I finish the cup. For this vessel, I'm going to combine two pitch pots to form one large bottle. First, I want to make sure that both rims of either pinch pot are level and consistent in diameter. I use slip to make sure I achieve a good connection between both sides of the pot. I cut a hole in the top of the vessel to where I'm going to place my rim. After I cut the hole, I take the opportunity to make some final adjustments to the form. I cut and attach a rim that's similar to the design that I placed on my mug. This is a way to keep consistent design elements across a variety of vessels, which will reinforce my personal creative expression. I compress the rim with the vessel to ensure a good connection and no leaks. The last step is to cut away any excess material from the vessel to ensure a flush and consistent interior. For this vessel, I'm going to take one of my closed bottle forms and create a pouring vessel by incorporating a handle, a foot, and a spout. First, I'm making sure that I'm starting with a smooth and consistent and level rim. Next, I'll construct the spout out of a small slab. I'll use a knife to cut out the final shape of the spout. I'll then cut away part of the vessel to allow water to flow onto the spout. I'll use slip to make a secure connection and make sure I wipe away any excess in order to create a smooth and consistent transition from the vessel to the spout. For this handle, I'll simply roll and reshape a simple coil. With using slip, I compress the handle onto the vessel, making sure that it's straight and in the shape that I want. In staying consistent with the design of the handle, I'll use coils to make the feet for the pouring vessel. I always use 3 pieces in the shape of a tripod to create stability for the pot.